Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 45 of the North Star Podcast. Today we got a little bit of a different setup. No mics, but it's all good. We're here with Gage. Part 2. I'm actually really excited for this because since the last podcast, man, it's been a huge transition for you. And I just want you to go over a little bit of how this season has changed versus the last time we had our conversation. And I'm really excited for you, and I'm actually really proud of you, man. I've seen you actually grow up through this process. I haven't been there the whole time, but I've had the opportunity to be with you a little bit through it in the way of just seeing, watching how you progress. So it's really cool for me too, just to have this conversation today, man. So thanks for your time too for today. I just want you to just kind of start off, man. Even give a little bit of an intro. I know most people have heard part 1, but just a little bit of intro, like what this year is kind of looking like for you, what recently has happened, and how your season went this year. So
yeah, thanks, Jer. Happy to be back.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it worked well last time, so we had to do it again.
Part 2.
We don't have the backyard set up, so we got to get used to the surroundings a little bit, but it's good. I'm Gage Goncalves. I play forward for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's been a good kind of off season so far. Just getting back kind of into the swing of things right now, and got my contract done in a couple months ago and stuff like that. So yeah, just really excited to kind of keep going, and we're really excited for the season.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's really cool for you to even look back probably from a year ago, because it's almost been about a year since we've done the part 1. How much has changed, right? Can you go a little bit more in how this year was a lot different from you than last year when you were playing?
I think obviously just from the kind of number of NHL games I played, and kind of being able to build kind of relationships with guys on the Lightning, not just kind of going up and down, or seeing them at camp, getting to know their families, getting to know where they're from, and everything like that, and just a lot more comfortability, kind of more confidence, kind of being there and contributing to wins and talking to guys and getting to know them more. So yeah, I think this year was definitely a big step for me, and it helped a lot because the guys there just they're just kind of normal everyday dudes at the end of the day, how they make it seem like in the dressing room and everything. So getting to know them, and then obviously having the ability to play in the NHL is always pretty cool. So hopefully we can kind of keep just racking up more games and more wins kind of as we go along.
Yeah, it's been, I remember there's that kind of transition period for you in the season. Can you remind me around what time that was where you kind of started playing more up, right? Like you started playing more games, things like that. What time period was that for you?
I'd say probably after January 16th. January 16th was kind of the day I got sent down, and then right after that, I was up for the rest of the season after that. So that was probably kind of the switching point for me.
Yeah, because I actually remember that timeline a little bit, because it wasn't far after you played in Vancouver too, right?
No, we played at Vancouver at the start of January, and then
I went to that game. I remember I was out. Everyone was like, it was super cool, man. Just being there, and I saw some signs and stuff. Your family was there and stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. Just obviously number one, having my family there and all my buddies and everybody that kind of helped me get to this point and where I was at, and I was a huge Canucks fan growing up, kind of a diehard Canucks kid, heartbroken when they lost in the finals and all that. So to be able to play on the same ice as them and be inside Rogers Arena, where I used to watch games growing up, with my dad, we'd always go there, try and go once or twice a year to watch the Canucks or go see whoever. So yeah, it was a pretty special moment that day.
Yeah, and especially just being your hometown, right? Like you said, you're watching it, playing, watching it, but also being part of the city, being here all the time too, right? So it's just you've probably gone to a few games over the years, obviously, right? So it's just being there, but actually now not being a fan. You're actually on the ice, you're actually playing for something, right? That game matters now. Right?
I know it was nuts just being able to see everything I wouldn't see as a fan, taking the bus into the game and walking down and seeing all the pictures of, when they won Game 7 against Chicago years ago, or walking by their dressing room that I was searching up photos of when I was little to try and see how cool the dressing room was. Or I saw Henrik and Daniel after the game. They were kind of talking to a couple guys after the game. I'm like, whoa, those are kind of like my two idols right there. Like I used to watch those guys every single night for, I don't even 10 plus years, and I have their jerseys at my house when I was younger, and now I'm like seeing them for the first time, like face to face. So yeah, it was a lot of kind of cool moments that younger Gage was definitely fired up about.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like, and I think you touched on a little bit of I wanted to transition. You said traveling and stuff, and I think it'd be cool. Like, what's the difference with traveling when you're playing now for the NHL team? Like, does it change, like, how you guys are busing places, how you guys are flying places? Like, what does that look like when you guys have an away game?
Yeah, I think, like, mostly, like, when I was in the AHL, we bussed everywhere. I think we only took, like, one flight a season, and now it's the complete opposite. Now you play in Vancouver at 7, and right after the game, you get 15 minutes like with your family and friends, and then like I hopped on a plane straight to Edmonton, and then we fly to Edmonton. You get in at whatever 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. You go to sleep. You either get the day off or it's a practice day the next day. You hang out. You do whatever you need to do. The next day is a game day, and then right after you play Edmonton, you fly to Calgary, and then after Calgary, you fly home. So yeah, the travel is a lot more games, which was kind of like the biggest thing. Like you really have to be cautious of what time you're going to bed, what you're putting in your body. Like you got to listen to exactly what it needs. So that was probably, I don't know, the biggest challenge I had this year. Just like I'm used to playing, 3 games every weekend in the A, and now I played, in 7 days we played 5 games or whatever it is. Like it's just with travel on top of it. So yeah, a lot of late nights, but a lot of fun plane rides with the boys and hanging out on the plane and bonding, which is pretty cool.
Well, it's really cool just, like, being able to fly private and, like, do all those things, especially if you've never done it.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, I'm doing it all year. Like, you go from none of it to, like, doing it all the time. You're just like, this is crazy.
We were pretty spoiled with, like, I was like, I'm used to, like, grabbing my Subway and hopping on the bus after the game, and now, we get, like, you can have a steak or chicken or whatever, like, the healthiest foods whenever you need it, just to make sure you're ready to go for, in 2 nights to go in Edmonton or wherever you are. So, yeah, getting the big comfy seat on the plane's always, it's always nice. But, yeah, I'd say, like, the food part was the biggest thing. Like, if you need something, like, there's always food available. Cool. And it's always super healthy, super clean, and it's whatever you need. So that was probably the biggest change up I kind of had.
That's actually, that'd be cool for you to touch on a little bit, because I don't think a lot of people know the outside of how that all works. Like, so, for example, you guys get home, or it's like a practice day or game day. Do you guys have, like, chefs? Do you guys have people there? Like, how does that all work? Like, let's say you're like, I want this is my pregame stuff. Like, how does it all work?
Yeah, so, like, on, like, a pregame, like, a game day, we, like, wake up, go to the rink. We have, like, chefs there ready to go with, like, omelet bars, then kind of buffet style for, like, the rest of everything, where you want, like, bacon, sausages, and then there's a big, bunch of fresh fruit, avocados, kind of anything else you needed there. Smoothies, you can just, the frozen fruits right there, so you just pop it in the blender, mix whatever you need, go on the ice, get off the ice. They have chicken, steak, mashed potatoes, carrots, peas, like, whatever, you name it, and then there's kind of a pasta bar right there, too, where you're just telling them,
sweet.
Like, yeah, I always have chicken with vodka sauce on game days with spinach and mushrooms. So it's like, he walks in, and after like a couple weeks, you finally get the, like, you want the usual, and I'm like, yes, please.
He gets to know you.
It takes a while. You got to get to know them. But they're the people there in Tampa are unbelievable. Like, they have whatever. If you everybody's pretty easygoing. Like, they kind of have everything there for us. But I'm sure if you needed something crazy or something that's on, like, your superstition list that you need to have on a game day, they would have it for you in a heartbeat.
That's cool, man. That's probably, like, I would say that's probably a big, like you said, eye-opener transition. You're just like, what the, like, you know, because probably before it was a lot of, like, I had to make my own stuff. I had to bring my own stuff. I had to, like, and now you're really seeing, like, it probably helps you time-wise too, like, how much you save on time. Like, think of it, right? Like, how much you probably had to, like, get prepared, right?
Like, literally, I remember in the A, it would be like you wake up and you make your own breakfast at the rink on, like, the little skillet and everything, and then you go skate, you get off, and then right after, we would all order this place called Possibilities in Syracuse. So you drive there, you pay for it, and then you hop in your car and you take it home and eat it. And I was like, now you just kind of go on the ice, you get your breakfast in the morning, you go on the ice, and then you just walk into our little meal room, and then your pass is ready 5 minutes later, and then you just take your little bag and you're out the door.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like, do you eat during game? Do you have anything during like game stuff ever? Do you guys have like
Well, we have like protein bars and like electrolytes and like whatever you need, but like me personally, I'm just like, I have my little carb drink, I have my electrolyte drink, and that's kind of it. I usually don't. I only eat twice on a game day, like a little bit of breakfast, like a tiny bit, and then a big pasta lunch, and that's it. And that's probably at like 1:30, 1:45, and then I don't eat for the rest of the day
until after the
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess like every guy probably has their own thing. Like they do their own thing. They have their own like way of doing it.
Some guys will eat right before the game. Some guys have to eat whatever, that same protein bar, or have that exact same little fruit snack or whatever during the game. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty like, I have to keep my superstitions down because I am superstitious. So if I get too many of them, like,
You're like,
we had one this year where like we were on a win streak, and I would have to go into the trainer's room and ask like Mikey Poirier, he's our like whatever you want to call it. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Our whatever.
Like physical
therapist. Yeah, for our team. So I'd walk into his room. I'd be like, Mikey, where are the Red Bulls at? And he's like, see that little fridge? So then we went on a streak. So then it was like every time I got off the ice for warm-ups, I'd ask him where the Red Bulls are, even though I know exactly where they are. But just to keep it going, because I like once something like that kicks in, like my brain just, I have to do it, or else I feel like I probably won't play as well.
That's One, and I feel like that's a lot of it, man. Like, I think we've chatted a little bit about this, but a lot of it comes down to the mental side. Like, maybe if we were to look at the most optimal meal beforehand, it's probably some guys are probably quote unquote not having the optimal, but it's because of the superstition. It keeps them mentally like there. It keeps them mentally going. So instead of it being like, okay, that doesn't always mean that, yes, that's quote unquote the optimal, but it can maybe just help them mentally get prepared for the game, which actually makes them perform better because they're like more dialed in because they feel more comfortable with what they're doing.
Like 100%. Like I have a Pepsi every game day or a Coke or something like that with my pregame meal. Like definitely not optimal, but I've done it for like ever since I was in junior. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like my body reacts to it where it's like, okay, like it's a game day. Like you got to be ready to go at 7:00 tonight for puck drop. And I don't know. It's definitely all mental when it comes to, you know, what you're eating, what time you're going to sleep, when you're waking up, when do you walk to the rink. Like it's everything. What suit did you wear last game when you won, or you had a good game? Like it's just little stuff like that.
Well, I guess too, like for you, man, like I think the biggest thing is you also want to feel like prepared, right? Like you want to feel that you're comfortable as well. Like, yes, it's a team sport, but you also want to feel confident in yourself too. Like that you're going to be like, okay, I got this going on. I got these like things all dialed in. So then when you get on ice, you feel confident as well, right? Because that makes it for everyone. It's like if you feel confident, well, that energy also can translate to everyone else too, right?
100%. Like at the end of the day, the only person that's going to get you ready for that night is yourself. So as long as you stick to your routines, if you're a routine guy like I am, like if I just stick to it and make sure I'm doing what I'm doing, I feel like I'm at my best come that 7:00 start.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I actually have a question that I was thinking about before this because I wanted to kind of get a little bit of a story of aside from your standpoint, but were there any games or anything this year that really stood out to you that you felt like you're proud of yourself for like getting to this point? Was there anything that like really like stood out that you're like, damn, I made it? Like this is I've made like my dream, like, you know, right? You as a kid, you're like, I want to make the NHL, right? Like, was there any moment that really just felt like, bang, like I'm here?
I'd probably say our first playoff game at home. That was
cool.
That was just like the atmosphere, the fans, the build up to it. Like you try not to pay attention, but all the billboards around town have like all of our guys' like faces and names on it, and everybody's talking about it, and it's on TV 24/7. It's on your phone blowing up. So that was like stepping on the ice for that, and like hearing the national anthems and like looking across, like we're gonna play these guys in a 7-game series, and like, you know, we have a chance we're like fighting for the Stanley Cup now. And that was like the whoa, like this is it. Like this is real deal. This is what you work towards. So yeah, it was pretty cool being in that first playoff game.
How would you say it compared, like other than the energy and things like that? Did you feel any different going into that? Like, did you have any different emotions going into it, anything like that?
I definitely had a lot more like I was definitely like more nervous, like butterflies in the stomach before the game, which usually I'm pretty relaxed and kind of like loose and stuff like that. But for that game, just like knowing the animosity of it and knowing how much like that game means, or like a turnover can lead to a goal, which can do this, or you miss a block or penalty or whatever it is. Like so many little things that can either make your game great and make us win the game, or could blow the game for us. So having those nerves definitely kind of took a little bit, like kind of took a couple shifts to get into it. But yeah, after that, then it's just you try and tell yourself that it's a normal game for the most part. But the fans make it pretty hard when they're just screaming and yelling the whole game. They know how much it's worth and means to them. So it just kind of makes you kind of feed off that.
Well, and it was probably too, like the atmosphere on an away game must have been crazy too in a playoff.
It's
Like not just home, but when you're away, you were like, holy, like they really don't want us to win.
Especially like playing Florida, like obviously like not myself, but the other guys playing Florida, like I think it was like the last 2 years in the first round or whatever it is, or in the playoffs, like going into that building, both Florida teams, Tampa and them, are both playing again. Both teams basically have dynasties now with, back-to-back cups in each department. So it was crazy. Like just the boos you hear hitting the ice, you love them. And then just how hard they cheer and how hard the other team's playing and how much it means to everybody. Just like you take a quick peek around the rink in the glass and everybody's standing for like the whole third period. And I'm just like, holy, this is absolutely absurd. But yeah, that was, it's pretty cool to experience. It's always fun being the enemy every now and then.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man. And how, like for you too, I guess the playoff goal that you scored, right?
Yeah.
Right? That was it was on what game was it again?
That was game 5.
And that was the first one, right?
Yeah.
So how was that for you? With like when you scored, you were just like,
it was blackout. Like
you just like, probably were just like, what? Like
it was nuts. Like just like being able to do it at home was pretty cool, and definitely like having everybody in the building, like all of our fans in the building was pretty awesome. And just I wish I could tell you like more about it. Like I don't even know what I did, what I said. Like it went in the net, and then I like completely blacked out. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. But it was a lot of fun to finally kind of get that one out of the way, and it was nice to get the first one too, to try and get the fans on their feet.
Well, I guess too, it's like for you, it's like when you scored your first NHL goal, when you like, there's these milestones that you want to try to hit, right? And it's just like they build up, right? And then once you get past it, it's like, okay, I've done this before.
Yeah.
Like I know what this feels like. I've done it before, so you kind of get over that hump. But I can imagine it's probably sometimes tough, because if you're a guy who hasn't, let's say he hasn't scored his first goal yet, it's like, you're like, damn, when am I going to do this? Like, when am I going to or get my first assist or get my first NHL goal? Like, there's probably some anticipation with it too.
That was, I think it took me 19 games to get my first like goal, and took me like 14 to get my first point. So it kind of, it adds up mentally. You try and get it out of your brain, and all the older guys there are awesome with the way they kind of talk to you. Like, don't let it, like keep kind of reiterating that you're playing well, like it's just not going in. Like once one goes in, they're all gonna go in, like stuff like that. So they definitely help a lot, and you got to kind of use them as a crutch, because like for myself, like it was tough. I was kind of getting down on myself if I wasn't, if I had a chance and I didn't bury it, because you don't even know how many. The league is so good, and every team is the best players in the world, so you don't really know how many chances you're gonna get at it. So to finally get that one out of the way was a freaking statue off my shoulders for sure.
Yeah, it's probably, I can imagine there's a lot of pressure too. Like you probably put a little bit of pressure on yourself too with that kind of stuff.
Probably I would probably put more pressure on myself than anybody else puts pressure on me. But I don't know. You wanna help the team win, and you want to be a contributing factor. You don't just want to be along for the ride. So it was tough for a while, but I'm happy I kind of found my stride a little bit and helped contribute to a couple wins down the road. That was really big for me.
That's cool, man. I kind of want to ask you too a little bit about, like, was there any, you had mentioned a few guys, like the guys were telling you like, hey man, like, things are going to be good, blah, blah, blah. Like, were there anyone that really kind of mentored you this year that you felt like you're like, really comfortable, if you're struggling with something, you can go talk to them? Or was there anyone that kind of stood out this year for you that you felt?
I would say like Darren Radish was probably him, or Nick Paul were kind of my two guys that helped me out the most. Ratty would just, they're both kind of like big brothers to me, just, making sure like, oh, this is to wear on this day, or, if you need tickets in this city, this is what you do, or stuff like that, and how to kind of go about your business, playing in the NHL and doing that and staying on the ice and working on this. So those two guys helped me out a bunch, and, they're unbelievable human beings for them to like go out of their way and help me with that. And they just did so much for my confidence, just like, keep going. Like, you're in the league right now. Like you have a chance to like, you're playing in the NHL, like for most nights. Like, you just got to keep going and keep grinding, and they're going to go in. And they were right. They started to finally fall, which is nice.
That's cool. And you probably like, for yourself too, man, you probably want to be in their shoes one day too, where you're like helping someone that's like exactly where you are.
I think so, yeah. And like they always talk about it, like, they'll
there's gonna get a chance where you're gonna be
exactly
in our shoes, right?
Yeah. They take out the younger guys for dinner, or they do this for a younger guy. It's like, here, like, I'll pay you back, and it's like, no, just pass it down. So it is pretty cool to see those guys, just because they already have enough on their plate. They both have families, and they're both trying to be obviously some of the top players in the world, and for them to just kind of take their time out of the day and focus on you and help you, which is something they 100% don't need to do, is it's pretty cool by them.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be something that not a lot of people hear about, right? People that watch, they're like, oh, he scored a goal, he's this on the top of the leaderboards or this, but they don't like see the behind the scenes of like what actually takes to become first in someone in your position, but also to the nerves and the things that you also go through, right? Because you just see, like, everyone just sees what you score a goal. It's like, okay, like, but what have you been working towards, or what have you been feeling this whole time going up to scoring your first goal, or going up to scoring your first playoff goal, right? So I think it's really cool to hear those sides, because I don't think a lot of people maybe sometimes have the compassion for professional athletes. And that might be a statement that not everyone agrees with, but I truly believe that you already worked your ass off to get to that point, right? So it's just like I have compassion for that, because I used to play a sport, and I know how much pressure you put on yourself to perform, and not just like you said for yourself, but for your team, right? So
yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's just like your team. Like, you want to make sure that you're doing your absolute best, and you're contributing for the guys around you, because you're all collectively together working towards like that Stanley Cup, and that's what every single kid that laces up skates dreams of doing. And so you want to make sure that you're doing your job a lot better than a lot of other guys on other teams, just to make sure you're giving yourselves a fighting chance, and doing what you need to do for the team at that moment to try and do that one day.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I am curious though to this for you recently. It's been a couple months, signing stuff like that. Like, what does this feel like you now going into your season that's going to be starting? Like, what are there any goals that you have that you want to kind of go into this season now that you're going to be starting in Tampa? Like, is there anything that you've kind of thought of at all, or anything that you want to kind of take into the season?
I mean, I'm kind of a guy that's always like, yeah, I got my deal done, which was awesome, and I'm so happy for like me and my family that we're gonna have that, and we're staying in Tampa, because that's kind of everything we've only known is Syracuse and Tampa. Like, it's been the Tampa organization through and through, so that's always awesome. Goals for me, like, obviously, I just want to make the team and make sure I'm in a spot, but that's number one. And then after that, just trying to get more minutes, trying to obviously put up more points and be productive. And like, I want to help our team win as much as possible with whatever role I'm in. If I'm going to be thought on to put up points, then I'm going to try and put up points. If I'm going to be out there defending other teams, top six forwards, then I got to make sure I'm good on defense. I'm going to be on the power play. I'm going to be on the penalty kill. So I think that's something I've always kind of been like that, like kind of, just trying to find a role and make sure I do it right. So, it might change during the season. It might be one thing and end the other, or it might be the same the whole way through. So I'm just going to try and kind of take it a little bit slower, because I think in the past I've kind of got ahead of myself and it's hurt me a little bit. So I'm just going to take it slow, make the team, step one, obviously, but then after that, kind of go from just try and build off kind of the playoffs I had last year, and hopefully I can do more of that in the next season.
Yeah, it's it's interesting because I'm actually curious too about, do you guys do any, are there any like goal setting like stuff for the team, like for individual, like do you guys have like a trainer for that, or something that you guys do that with, or because I know you probably have access to every avenue if you need. You're like, I need someone for this. They're like, oh, we got someone. Like, do you guys do anything like that as a team, or like how does that all work?
We got a sports site come in like a bunch of times. His name's Ryan Hamilton. He's been with Tampa, and he worked with a couple guys on Team Canada and the World Junior team too. So he's awesome. So yeah, as a team, he would come in and like talk to us kind of throughout the year. He came in playoffs, mostly just about like what we needed to do and the mindset we were kind of in. But for me, no, he's awesome. Like just kind of, where I started in Syracuse, what my mindset was there, getting one NHL game and two NHL games and then going back down to Syracuse, how does this change your mindset? How does this change like what you need to work on and do stuff like that? And now like trying to become an established NHL forward, that's going to be like an everyday NHL player. I actually have a call with him on Friday this week. So,
Cool.
yeah, he's gonna be nice to hear. But yeah, I've talked to him a lot. Just kind of, my goal always was to have a 10+ career, couple Stanley Cups. Being a providing factor on those cups, obviously, and just he breaks down kind of your goals from there, and how are you gonna get there? What do you need to do? And then you just go from there.
Cool. Was there speaking of different avenues, was there any maybe field of either, like you said, like I know like physios, all those, was there anything that you didn't expect that you had access to when you went to the NHL? Was there anything you're like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing? Like, was there anything like that?
I mean, what was it? Probably just getting into the doctors early if you're ever hurt.
Yeah, like anything you need probably.
Yeah,
like,
that was probably like if me or anybody, like if I need a prescription or had something wrong with me or a bug or something like that, like
you're just like,
yeah, they just like call it in and you go pick it up right away. So that's probably like, yeah, just kind of the medical side from it. Like if you need surgery, you're probably getting in the next day or doing it that night or something like that. And especially with Tampa, like they're unbelievable at it. Like they're rated always from like a player standpoint, one of the highest organizations to play for every single year. So, from the ownership to the management, they're like top notch. So it's pretty special to have all those opportunities, because I obviously don't know if every NHL team does that. So it's it's a big blessing to be around all that and have kind of every avenue, because at the end of the day, it's on us, all the guys, to use those things and to go try it and to make sure we're taking care of ourselves to be at our best. So it's pretty big for us.
That's cool. Is there any, when as a Canadian citizen playing in the U.S., is there any conflict when it comes to like access to anything? Like you said, the medical system. Like how does that work then? If you're someone who is Canadian born, but you're obviously doing stuff in the U.S. for medical, is there a transition? Like how does that all work?
Yeah, so I have like a work visa down there, and then we have something through the NHL like Players Association, which has like our whole medical, whatever you want to call it, bill.
Like benefits almost.
Yeah, benefits basically. I just have like, if I ever needed surgery or a prescription or whatever, I would just they beat my little card at the register, and then they would take care of it. So cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice. They do a great job for us.
Yeah, it's probably cool to have like access to like MRI whenever you want, or like, any sort of scan or anything. Right?
Hopefully, I don't have to use it. But if I ever had an issue or a worry about something, like God forbid, whatever it is pretty. I am pretty lucky to be able to get in and get it done and get my results back ASAP. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully we don't need to use too many of those, but I'm pretty lucky to have that at my fingertips.
That's sweet. Do you guys do anything like? I'm just now self-stressed in this question because I'm a nerd about this stuff. But do you guys have like access to like vitamin IV therapies, like all that kind of stuff? Like, do you guys get any of that stuff, or like any sort of like ozone treatments or anything like that when it comes to?
Yeah, we'll have like the vitamin stuff for sure. Like if you're sick and we don't have enough bodies to go for next game, or IV drips for we just had a hard playoff game. We're traveling home. We play again like back-to-back nights and stuff like that. So yeah, our both guys, Molly and oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? Mikey are unbelievable. They're both our medical staff there, and they do they do
That's
an
cool.
unbelievable job of just, asking questions like, do you need anything? Are you good? Blah, 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 this. And I don't know, I'm pretty easygoing, and I'm
you're like,
obviously young, so I got to still know my role, and, you got to make sure that all the older guys that have been there for a long
taken
time,
care
and
of, yeah.
yeah, you got to wait your turn. So, but no, they do a great job of taking care of us, and
That's
whatever we need is, right there.
You probably have access to like recovery stuff, like anything you probably really want, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff at the rink. It's usually nothing really crazy, just like, sauna, steam room, cold tubs, hot tubs, are at our practice facility and our main facility if we need it. We got all the Normatec stuff. Our gym's massive, so yeah, usually nice little sauna cold tub after a practice day and stuff like that.
Cool. What does training look like during the season for you? Like workout training?
I'd say it's
Pretty
like
light?
Yeah, it's pretty light. It's more like power, like how much power you're creating than strength, I would say, for the most part. A little bit of speed work, and it's hard in the NHL just trying to find like days. Like, when do we have 2 days off? Was it a travel day on that? Like, if we played Tuesday and then Friday, like Wednesday, Thursday, like, did we travel home on Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday or whatever? Like, it's hard to figure out days where we're going to be able to get a lift in, or you're not going to sacrifice lifting to make sure you're good on that Thursday night. So you have to pick your spot. A lot of after game workouts for sure, just power or getting something in, whether it's bench or a front squat or jumps or leg curls, just to try and, keep your body on track and make sure it's feeling good.
Yeah, I guess too, like, and that's, I think, a lot of times the misconception with athletes. It's like your goal in season is just to maintain pretty much your strength. You're not trying to go like for a PR in the season. Like, you're not. There's no point. Like, you're there to play hockey. Right?
Exactly. Like, as long as you're making your body feel exactly what are you going to do at that gym to make your body feel the best on however many nights away the game is all you're going for. For some guys, it's doing a hard workout. For some guys, it's lifting no weights, and for some guys, just doing body weight stuff, and for some guys, you're in the in-between. So just kind of got to know what you're doing, and our strength and conditioning guy down there, Mark Lambert, is unreal with that, and he's still on you, and he picks days, and he's not begging you, but you feel like you got a good lift in if you do want to, like, just maintain that strength or even grow it a little bit. And it's a long season, so you gotta pick your spots pretty wisely.
Especially if you're playing, like, because you guys have like preseason games, season games. Then if playoffs happen, you go to playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many games in total, or if you were to do all of them? Preseason, season, playoffs?
6 preseason games, 82, 88, and then you need 16 wins to win the cup. So whatever takes you
almost 100 roughly.
16 games. So yeah, I'd say just over 100 probably.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Because when you were playing for Syracuse, you were playing how many games?
Like 72.
Okay, so low, like.
But it's just over so much further. Like, it's like, all right, you're gonna play a 3-3 Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're gonna play, and then you're gonna take 4 days off, 5 days off. And you're not gonna play a game. And then you're gonna do it again. And then you're gonna play like Monday, Wednesday, Friday 1 week. So now it's more of just like that was kind of like all over the place. Like, you'd play a lot of games quickly and then have a huge break. And right now, collectively in the NHL, it's like, all right, you're probably gonna play a game every other night.
Yeah. What's the worst travel day? Would be like a worst, like, what does a horrible travel day look like for you?
I mean, nothing's like a horrible travel day as long as the plane ride's not bumpy. Yeah. I'd say like, our longest flight is like basically from Tampa to Vancouver.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I'm excited to get home to see my family and stuff. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Probably like if we play like a Friday night at 7 and then we have a 1 o'clock game on the road too. That's probably it.
Because you have to like leave, go play next day.
Yeah, you're like leaving, going, sleeping at the hotel at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then waking up at 10 o'clock to get to the rink by 11, and then you play at 1.
Oh.
Yeah, that was probably. I think we only had one of those this year, so it wasn't like terrible. But yeah, it's just a quick turnaround. Body's still sore from the game before. You're still tired, and then you're waking up the next morning a little groggy, and you gotta lock it in really quick before you go out.
I feel like the time change thing would mess me up, man. You'd be like, it feels like 5, but it's like 8 o'clock, and then you go somewhere else. It's like, oh, it feels like it's 10 o'clock, but it's actually 6. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's all over the place.
The time change hurts sometimes. We were actually usually we come 2 days before we do like our Western trip, like out here and do Edmonton and Calgary and Seattle. We'll come 2 days before our first game to get accumulated to like, you know, the time change and, you know, like going to bed like earlier because you were 3 hours behind or 3 hours ahead out there, 3 hours behind here. So then it's like, but we couldn't fly in because Taylor Swift performed and all the hotels were sold out. So then so we just flew in the day before and then played the next day at like 3 o'clock.
Oh my god.
Or whatever it was. So yeah, T Swift hurt us that day.
I guess for you guys too, like all your hotels are booked, everything's all like accommodation. Like, you guys usually stay. Obviously, don't say what hotel, but you guys usually stay at the same hotels, like every city you go to.
For the not like the same chain, but definitely like the same hotel for the most part, I would say. I mean, I've only played in a couple barns twice, but both times we were there. Like we played in Florida, we played them twice in the regular season and in the playoffs when we were at the same hotel. Same thing with Boston. So yeah, usually in our division we're in the same hotel every time.
And do you guys get your own room? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, you get your own rooms. You just go up and you're by yourself, and then usually meet the boys or go out for dinner. If there's a team dinner at the hotel or at a restaurant, you meet up then. If not, you get you go out with like everybody's got groups and stuff like that, or sometimes we'll do different groups or team meals or whatever. So yeah. You go out for dinner that night, and then you come back and go to bed.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's that. And I can imagine there's probably like people at like maybe sometimes waiting for you guys, like trying to see the players and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it's pretty common, especially like when with all the star power like we have with like Cooch, Hedman, Pointer, Heggs, Gens, Vasi, all of them. Like obviously, like most of those guys are gonna be first ballot Hall of Famers, if not all of them. So. Yeah. They don't talk to me, but they talk to the big dogs, and I'm totally okay with that.
You're like,
I'm it's fine with me, but yeah, it's cool. You know, sometimes you have kids outside and stuff like that, so yeah, it's pretty fun to see.
That's cool. Did you find though you played Tampa a few months, you know, like after a few months, did you find that people started almost kind of like recognizing you a little bit more in public, or like did you find that there was a transition like that happen or not really?
Like a little bit. Like if I go to the coffee shop and get a coffee in my suit before the game, they'll be like, good game or good luck tonight or something like that. But no, everybody in Tampa is pretty laid back and relaxed. Like, you know, like I don't think they want pictures, or if they did, I would obviously say yes. But no, they're pretty relaxed and, you know, just good game tonight or good luck or, you know, go beat them or whatever, something like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they're pretty diehard hockey fans, which kind of was surprising over the years. You know, it's Florida and I'm from Canada, so I'm like,
you're like, oh,
I wonder how this is gonna work. But man, with the cups they've won and the teams they've had, they absolutely love it. So it's pretty cool to see down there.
Was it for you though when like somebody asked for a picture or an autograph, or was it a weird transition for you at first? Were you just kind of like, not that you didn't expect it, but was it more like, you know, if you're walking around or, you know, like your everyday life, you know, it's probably like before you were playing in the NHL, right? Like versus now, did you find it was a little bit different? Like somebody's like, oh, I want to take a picture with you. And you're like, oh, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was kind of it. I'd be like, what? Like, you want a picture with me? Like, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and I probably came from ice and smell like crap. Like, are you sure? But I mean, yeah, they're fans, and I definitely probably would have done the same thing if the roles were reversed. Or I know I did that as a kid growing up, going to Canucks games, begging for people to stop in the hallways and take a picture with me. So yeah, it's fun, and it's always awesome when you have like kids, especially like back home in Mission, and they're saying they like tried you out and use you in NHL, but your rating sucks and stuff like that. Like you gotta get a higher rating. So that's always like funny and keeps you nice little humble. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't change a lot of my everyday life. Like if somebody wants to take a picture, I take a picture and go about my business. So I'm grabbing lunch or doing whatever. And it doesn't happen a lot. Like it's probably only like diehard hockey fans or like kids' parents that I used to teach your kids how to skate or something like that. But yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, I can imagine too, just like anything though, like you said, like once you get over that hurdle once, it's like, oh, okay, like you know, you kind of get used to it. You're like, it's fine. It is what it is, right? You just get used to it, right?
Definitely weird for like the first couple times it happened, caught me off guard.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, yeah, sure, let's do it. It's just like, okay, whatever, and then you just move along your day.
Yeah, it's like if I was walking down the street and somebody's like, hey, I want to take a picture with you, I'd be like, what? Like,
yeah, that's what I was exactly. I'm like, are you sure? Like,
yeah.
You think you have the wrong guy.
Yeah. Like, are you sure you want to take Yeah. That's pretty funny. When it comes down to any, you know, stories this year for you, were there any like surreal moments? Like, I know you talked about the playoffs, but like, was there anything like when you played a different team or you saw a player that whatever? Was there anything that just was like, whoa, like this is crazy?
I'd probably like playing like Sid and Ovi were kind of my top two. Like, just, you know, I idolized kind of Crosby growing up. Like, you know, saw what he did in the Olympics and the Golden Goal and, you know, the cups he's won, all the awards and all the spectacular plays. So to like play against him was like absolutely insane. Like, I remember him like he like traces the McDonald's logo in warm-ups every single time, and I'm like looking over in warm-ups, I'm like, holy crap, he's doing it, and it's like 10 feet from me. Like, that was kind of got a little starstruck there. And then Ovi with him like chasing the goal record and beating it this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably crazy.
So just like every single night, if he scored against us actually when we played them in Washington, the place just like they were still down 1, and the place just erupted. Like it's just like to be in the league and to be like hearing guys like talk about it around dressing rooms and other buildings, it was awesome. It was so fun.
I was gonna say that was probably a cool year to be around when you played them.
Yeah,
actually. Well, and it's probably crazy for you, their age and how good they still are.
Like, it's just, you know, two unbelievable hockey players, like just doing what they know they need to do every single day to feel like they got better, and how hard both of them work, and for them to do it at that age and just like for so long. Like, they haven't, like, everybody talks about like obviously like you're gonna decline as you're getting older, like, you know, it's just human nature, and just like they both basically beat the odds right now. Like, we had another 30+ goal season. Sid put up another.
How old are they? Do you know?
Ovi's 40.
Yeah, he's in his 40s, right?
Sid's like 38 or 39.
That's crazy, dude.
And they're both two of the still top players in the world, and they have been for the past over a decade.
So they would have been playing early 20s?
Yeah, 18.
18, so
18.
Early 2000s?
Yeah.
So, like, even how much the game has changed in the last 20 years. Like, how much faster it is, too.
Oh, my gosh. Just, like all the technology that they used to have then compared to now. Like, it's just probably look at Crosby's stick from his rookie year to what he's using now. Right. It's probably totally different. So, I don't know. And the way Ovi plays, he could probably play in any era just with how good his shot is and how big and physically demanding he is to, like, try and get the puck off of. It's absolutely insane. So for both of them to do that for 10, 12 plus years, it's it'd be pretty cool to do that one day.
Was there you said size, was there a guy in the NHL when you like stood beside him or like you were checking him or whatever, you're like, holy, this guy's massive?
I mean, I get to play with Victor Hedman every day, and he's like 6'6", 2 whatever, and
you're like, how do I check this?
And he still moves like he's like 5'6" and small on skates. So, wow, seeing him every day with how good he is with his feet and how big he is, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is absolutely insane. So, like, playing with Hetty and practicing with him every day, it's pretty cool.
Hey, I can imagine too, like, there's some guys on teams, he's like charging at you to come hit you, and you're just like
there's a couple guys.
You're like, holy, like, I just got to take this.
There's a couple guys that you have to get out of the way or else they'll blow your shoulder out. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. Because everybody there is a good skater. And then you had a guy I'm like $185, and these guys are like 225, 235. I'm just, brace for impact at that point. Hopefully my shoulder doesn't fall off.
Yeah. 1 and 2, you would say, though, from my understanding, again, I don't know a ton about hockey. I know enough to obviously understand it, but there's not as much fighting anymore as there used to be either, right? Like, there's not really that. I guess there's kind of an enforcer role, but not as much anymore.
Yeah, I would say like the game's definitely changed a lot these probably past like 20 years ish, 10 years ish, just with how many guys like that are actually on your team. And I would just say like the roles of fighting. Like back then, I feel like there's a lot of fighting to like get your team going and stuff like that. And now it's more about, if there's a dirty play or somebody's taking a shot at a star player, that's kind of when the fighting would come in. But it's still a big role on a lot of teams, especially like, every team, if they're going to run after your star player, you got to make sure somebody lets them know that's not okay. And I have a lot of respect for guys that do that, and just, the way they handle themselves and how they take their jobs and what they do to bring a spark and to bring just, that authority to a lineup can help a lot of guys,
Did you ever have anyone want to start like any fights with you this year?
No.
There
was nothing this year. I don't know if I would have said yes if they did. I'm definitely not my role, and got to put on a couple more pounds to do that. But no, if somebody threw a bad hit, you obviously have to get in there. But no, nobody was asking me anything.
Well, I don't know, man. I know a few, like I've talked to a few guys over the years, and that's not like per se that's their role, but they would be more inclined, and I don't know if I would want that, man. Like that's a lot of like it's like the rule too. You can't take your helmet off.
I forget like exactly what that.
You
rule
can't
is.
just like rip your helmet off anymore. Like you have to keep it on. And then I'm like looking at guys like literally like just punching a helmet. I'm just like, dude,
dude, they're warriors. Like seeing like a couple of these tilts like throughout the NHL, like just like watching like SportsCenter or something like that. I'm like, holy crap! Like this is an absolute.
Well, I'm probably seeing it in person. You're just
yeah, dude, it's nuts. I'm like, good for you. Like I don't know if I could do that in this moment if it was staged. Like maybe if somebody hit like, one of our star players, I would 100% do my best. But seeing what those guys are able to do, it's nuts. I mean, but that's just part of kind of being a hockey player.
Yeah. That's cool, dude. That's just like to see that though, right? Like to see it actually live.
Yeah.
I know as a fan, you see it live, but I just mean like right there. Like it could be literally like we would be this close to each other, right? And you just see like this guy pounding, like just like on his like helmet. You're just like, what the heck? Like
it's pretty cool, especially when it's like one of your like it's one of the boys doing that. And you're just like, then you kind of turn into a fan of yourself. Like you're just screaming at him to win the fight and like let's fucking go. Yeah. Like you're just screaming and yelling. So it's always fun to see the boys get in there.
That's cool. Do you are you a big chirper? Do you chirp a lot or?
No, dude, I'm quiet as a mouse. I know my role, and it's not that. And I don't think. I mean, a lot of guys probably don't even know who I am, or I got no authority yet. I keep to myself a lot.
You've heard some pretty funny ones, I bet, though, over the years.
There's a couple good ones. Like Marchand told me he was gonna rip my throat out this summer. Like that was a good one, or last year. But it's just like it's awesome. Like that's part of the game, Like it's cool to see that like even though like fighting's less and probably like the physicality's a little bit less than 20 years ago, that guys still want it as badly as they did 20 years ago, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to go win that cup.
Yeah, it's just cool for you to like be able to share the other side of it, because I know I mentioned this already, but there's a lot of the things that you probably go through that a lot of people don't see, like anything in life. But like I think because sports are such in a big spotlight, right? Like I don't have cameras on me on my everyday life. Like, half the things I do, I'm not being like watched, and like if I don't score, like if I don't, whatever, make a sale or whatever, it's not like everyone knows. Yeah. Right. But for like an athlete, man, if you're not performing well, everyone knows. Yeah. Right? Like it's like like you said, it's a lot of pressure sometimes, right?
Yeah, and I think, I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself as well, like any pro athlete would do that. And I think just the biggest thing, I don't know, for me especially, was just like kind of sticking away from social media, like just, hanging out with my parents, calling them if I was bored, or playing, video games with my buddies, and everybody's really good about it, like not really like talking about the game, or they just kind of like, we just shoot it about something else, or what are they doing? How's back home? How's doing that? How's doing this? So that was kind of the biggest thing for like my mentally to stay checked in and to make sure I wasn't like, going on Instagram or watching highlights of whatever and seeing people rip me. But it's every day. Everybody's open to their opinion. You just kind of gotta keep your confidence and keep that mindset kind of the same, just through and through.
Yeah, kind of like tunnel vision, man.
Exactly.
Just like do your thing. Don't worry about the outside noise. Have the people that are around you that are supporting you and that are actually making you feel good rather than, surrounding people that make you feel shitty.
Yeah,
Or worse
exactly.
about yourself, right?
At the end of the day, I don't care how anybody else thinks I played, as long as my teammates think I did my job that night,
Yeah.
and my coaching staff thinks I did my job that night, and that's all I need to do.
That's cool, man. No, I like that. I know we've been filming here for a little while, but I kind of want to just, finalize if there's any, thing that you wanted to share about the season or the season coming up, or if there's anything that you just, want to talk about or anything that's kind of coming up for you or anything cool or.
Just kind of got preseason and hopefully can find my stride back then. It's gonna be nice to play some 5-on-5 games again. You just don't have that during the summer. It's all 3-on-3. You're working on your skills, you're working on your playmaking and your shooting, and you're fine tuning little things, whether it's like edge work or how you're releasing the puck on your shot, or you're trying different sticks. So it's gonna be fun to get back into this kind of like 5-on-5 setting where everything's on the table. And I think last year we got snake bitten with injuries at the wrong time. I know injuries aren't really an excuse, but I really like where we're at with our team when we're healthy, and I think we can do some real damage. And I know there's a lot of guys that are still hungry that have even won. These guys have won 2 cups. They won 1 million trophies probably with winning the Eastern Conference, winning the whole freaking league, and doing this, winning Rocket Richards and Norrises and Vezinas and everything, but. They want it as bad as the next guy, and as bad as guys that have never won it before or never even won a playoff series. So that's pretty cool to see those older guys and how much they've accomplished, and they still have the same hunger, if not more. So just trying to take from them, and I'm still young and still trying to learn how to make my mark in the NHL and what I need to do to get better and to keep improving. So yeah, hopefully can kind of just build off that last playoffs and roll with it and keep it going from there.
Cool. I like that. I got two more questions. If you have a kid watching right now that was in your position at one point, is there anything that you would want, or you have any, not even advice, because I think that's questions overdone, but is there anything that you wish you were told at that age, trying to make your way to where you are now?
I would just say, try not to listen to all the outside noise. There's a lot of coaches and a lot of things kind of growing up that would put me in roles for teams where, I'm kind of going to be like a third line grinder, shut down, not play a lot, but be a good teammate type of role. And, I always kind of thought to myself, I had more in the tank than just that. I thought I could contribute offensively and, be a real player and make a real difference in the game. And sometimes, people, whether it's whoever, coaches, scouts, your parents, whoever it is, kind of put you in that mindset. So yeah, just believe in your ability, and you really just got to put in the work. There's a lot of times where you can get cut from teams or not drafted into the WHL or not drafted in the NHL or not go play on the line you want to do. But if you literally just kind of block out everything, and if you want it that bad and you work at it, good things are going to happen.
I like that, man. Thanks. And then, no, actually, that's good, because I think a lot of times you hear the same stuff, man. It's keep working.
Yeah.
You're going to make, but in all realistic, man, not everyone's going to make it. But I think the reason I liked your honest answer was because it's you have to, you as yourself, as a player, you have to also get to know yourself as a player. I think that's the big message too, right? Is what you said is you hear all these other things around you. All these other people are saying this, saying that. You should be a forward. You should be this. You should be that. It's well, like you said, if you have more in the tank yourself and it's believe in your own abilities, right? Instead of that outside noise. So I like that message. And then the next one is scheduling wise. You guys have your schedule yet or no? Or is it not official?
Not yet. I'm not official yet. I don't.
I was gonna say when you come to Vancouver.
I don't know yet, but we'll have to get you in the building for sure, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna come no matter what. I'm gonna buy a fucking ticket if I have to, man. I you know what, it's funny because over the years, my biggest thing is I try to put myself not in your shoes in the way of you as the individual, as an NHL player, but like I can imagine how overwhelming it can be sometimes to probably be like, can you have a picture? Can my son have, like, can I get a signature? Can I get a card? Can I get a jersey? Can I have a ticket? It's like, so I always like to try to be like, no, I would want to, like, if I was in that person's shoes, it's like, for me, I kind of look at it as like, you're probably already getting bombarded as is, right? So it's just like, fuck, dude, if I can just go and just be there and like, dude, it's so cool to go, like, you know, like, I love that stuff, man. I love to support. That's my biggest thing. I've always been like that. It's just something that I think, like, at the end of the day, it goes full circle at the end of the day, right? So, but I when you're here, I'm gonna fucking go. So no matter what, so I'll make sure I'm there.
Let's go.
So,
That's money.
yeah, but yeah, I was just wondering if you already knew I'm guessing the schedule probably comes out soon-ish.
Yeah.
But because they probably have to figure out timing, travel times, and stuff like
yeah,
that. Right?
the GM's got a lot of work under
Yeah, I
their
was gonna
belt.
say
But
flights, bookings, everything. There's
it's
so much work.
There's so much stuff from behind the scenes that that we 100% take for granted. But you know, I'm really happy that they're doing it and not us, because they do a hell of a job.
I was gonna say you had to book all your flights.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know how to book a game, dude. So freaking I think I've booked like 2 hotels in my entire life. You'd be my mom, and now it's them. So yeah, it's pretty nice that they handle all that. So
That's
yeah,
funny,
we're
man.
definitely spoiled.
That's awesome. Well, man, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you got a lot going on, and you're busy, and you know, so I just appreciate you taking the time and being here for part 2. It's been fun, man. It's cool to do the last one and to see the difference and even just the conversation we've had, because I know a lot of growth just from last conversation we had to now. And I know we don't, you know, we check into each other a little bit here and there over the season, but like just to have an actual conversation with you and just hear how you're doing is, I like to hear it. So
Yeah, me too, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ilby. It's yeah, it is fun to kind of look back. You know, I'm not really good on that. I need to get better at that. I kind of like looking back at years prior to kind of what happened to now. And yeah, having that episode back there, my parents were like watching it a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Of course, my dad was.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I just reminiscing.
Yeah,
like, oh.
he's like, oh yeah, it's the backyard. I'm like, you're watching this? I was like, what
like on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, isn't there something on that's like better than watching me? Like, and yeah, you know, they're.
So now this one's gonna be the next one.
So yeah, he'll probably watch this for like the next year. So yeah, he'll just fire. Fernando will be
then
fired.
we're gonna do another one just
we'll
to like
have to
keep the transition.
We're
going.
1 for 1. We did one podcast, and
yeah.
I got 1 good year in the NHL. So we're gonna have to keep adding it up.
Hey,
hopefully.
it's the superstition, bro.
I literally
Dude,
will. It's probably
dude.
now that you said that, you're locked in for life, basically.
There we go. I love it. There we go. I got you locked in, bro. No contract signed, but it's fine.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. And thank you everyone for listening to episode 45 of the North Star podcast with Gage. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see you go out this year. So, thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, buddy. Sweet.